Well, hold them close, my dear love. Hold them near for all the people you'd betray from the mess that you made. When you're down and out, the world takes you in. You've got no one to fight. Let's argue tonight. Oh, he was so obsessed with the way that you dressed and the way your hair lay and the mountains that you made from the love you create. When you're down and out, the world takes you in. You've got no one to fight. Let's argue tonight. This is the dark like a river that tunnels your heart. Fractures the past like a mountain and cuts to the ground. You've got no one to hold. You've got no one to ground.
My first taste of Young Benjamins was a couple years ago. It was at a potluck fundraiser put on by Christian Kongawi. You guys were playing. The band looked a little different back then. There was an Enver, there was a Mark, was it, drumming at the time? And I approached you after and I said, holy cow, this band is amazing. You guys got to play Stripped Down. And you looked me in the eye and said, well, we applied and you didn't get back to us, and my heart broke. So I apologize. That was my first meeting of what would become the Young Benjamins.
I applied by MySpace. I messaged you.
For the next 60 minutes, I want to take the band, I want to take the viewers from that moment to where we are today, because there's been a few changes in the band. Can you even remember back then? That was a time of change for the Young Benjamins, because as I walked away, someone pulled me aside and said, hey, do you know Brynn's about to join that band? No, that's awesome. So in the last couple years, how has Young Benjamins progressed to where we are today?
I think after just a month of actually starting as Young Benjamins, it was just me and Kuba, and then we were lacking a lot. And we were lucky to meet Vero, and she just, we went like this.
Brought
after
it
her.
up a little
Well,
bit.
This is our morale.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when did you get the call? When did you get the call to join the band?
It was actually at well, there was no call. There was just kind of an outside the Fez conversation after an open mic, and it was just kind of like, okay, where do you live? Let's jam in your basement. And I think they were a little bit worried that I didn't know what I was doing on the violin.
No. We knew what she was doing on the violin.
I had never played violin live. Like, I hadn't really done any open mics with my violin, and it was just kind of like I play the fiddle, and I think it was just kind of, I don't know, it was a nice first jam, and our first encounter was awesome too. So
yeah, it was really good.
I know it's always thrown around, but you guys really gave a unique sound that night, and it blew me away. I was like, these guys better stay together, because this is pretty awesome. This is pretty special. I was really digging it. And then along came Brynn to replace Enver.
I remember one night Nusha started talking to me on Facebook in like January.
Not MySpace?
No.
Okay. I moved on from that.
Yeah. January of 2012, Nusha was talking to me on Facebook and was like, hey, we need a new bassist. Are you interested? And like half an hour later, we were talking on the phone.
Because I'm ADD and I called her before she even read the message.
Yeah, and then that month, I was part of the band. So
I don't know. I look at Young Benjamins as almost like a super group. You two, you've been on Stripped Down before in solo show. You've been part of Stripped Down since it began. You've been on the stage a few times. What was like the first moment where you guys kind of clicked and were like, hey, this is the lineup. We got to move with this. We got to push forward. This is awesome.
I think it was probably when we got accepted to play at Ness Creek, because before that we had played a few shows and we had toured just a little bit out of the province, but nothing that was not a big enough show for us to feel like we had the whole community that would be there, and that people were really excited to hear us, and I think we knew that we had to kind of step up our game, and we were playing Regina Folk Fest that year too. So I think it was kind of like, it was a year of discovery and a year of kind of just raising the bar for us last year. So
Listen to this album, and again, it blew me away. The first album I kind of liked. This one is one of my actually favorite, not just local albums, but just albums. Like, I popped it in and it hasn't left my car stereo. Track 5 is arguably my favorite song in the world right now. Like, I have not hit eject since he gave me this about a month ago. Less Argue is kind of the first single. Is that the first one you're pushing?
actually, Out There in the Wild would be the first single.
Okay.
It's because we've been pushing it for a while now, and it's got, if you look at it in a marketing point of view, it's already got the most plays out of our songs on YouTube, and it's good to just have it's already out there.
So why that one?
I guess that's really
It's a fun one.
typical Young Benjamins from a year and a half ago, and now it's like the last of its. We've kind of evolved into the rest of the album. Sounds way different than Out There in the Wild, I think. So
I think Jasper kind of became a single as well, just because it's been played on the charts quite a bit. We have some plays kind of around the country, so that's really exciting. It's a nice little boost. It's a little morale boost.
I made the assumption about Less Argue because before we even shot 199 in the studio, 2 months before that, you guys came in and Brynn cut a little 30-second teaser for the song. So why did you focus on that song at that time?
I don't know, I feel like it kind of set the mood for the album. Kind of more serious, but also a bit uplifting in a way.
Mm-hmm. I think it encompasses the whole the whole mood of the album, and because the title track, that's the title track, and I think it brings the whole theme around as well. It's kind of a concept album in a way. I don't know, I'd like to think.
I agree. When we shot 199, at the time the song that stuck out was Tunnel Mountain. That was you?
Yeah.
You read all of them?
All the songs? I think it's a collective effort. I have just some moments, yeah.
He writes a lot of the lyrics, definitely a lot of the lyrics, and he brings the song, to the band, and then we work with what he gives us.
Yeah, it's usually like that. I mean, usually it comes with just me playing a riff, or I just like one part of the song, and we just jam it for like 20 minutes, and then pick points out that we like, and then we just it's quite a lucky process, I guess. What
was going on up here that brought Tunnel Mountain out?
Do you mean emotionally or just like what?
Either or.
I think that song was written because I just got back from a trip with my girlfriend at the time, and we were breaking up because she was going to New Zealand, and yeah, so we were just walking, and it just like felt like a good place to like write a song about, you know.
Through the mountains we go, down the old tunnel road. I want your body close. I want your body close to mine. We've got a shattered end. Eats off my heart and my hand. Wanders alone with the sun. She is my only one to have. Through the mountains we go, down the old tunnel road. I want your body close. I need your body close to mine.
Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McQuaid, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquaid.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon), 664-6640.
Precious, but I have too much to repent. I felt the light from your green eyes as you laid in my arms. Oh, oh. But when you're out in this town, you can't keep me this time around.
You kick things off with Colonial Part 1, which I thought was kind of a daring way to start it because it's pretty low key compared to the party atmosphere that comes a little later in the disc. So why the decision to start with Colonial Part 1?
I think it was basically because it's so different that it was kind of a decision that was made by quite a few different people, and I think they thought that because it's so different that it would kind of catch the ear of the listener. But at first we had actually planned on it being at the end, the last song. But it just, I guess it kind of introduces the album in a different way. And
Definitely a different way.
Yeah.
The lead singer doesn't even sing on the first track. I mean, that's a pretty gutsy move for a disc.
It wasn't like she said, it wasn't really our choice, but we accepted it. Took us a while, I think, to accept it between me and her. I think she has still trouble accepting it that it's first. It was the label, and they thought it was the best thing to do, and we trust them, so, and they're awesome. So.
And I think it's working well as
Yeah,
being the
it's
first
working
track because a lot of people do ask us about it. So it definitely does catch attention.
You found out last December, but it wasn't actually revealed until a couple months ago that you got signed to a label. Take me back to that. How excited were you for that?
We found out we knew we were going to sign to them probably around this late summer.
Oh.
'Cause we were talking to the Dollar Tone Records for over a year, right? We were talking to Shauna for over a year. She's been kind of guiding us, telling us what's the best routes and giving us advice, and kind of in November, December we got more serious about it, and she's like, what do you want? Do you want a management or a label? Because I have both. And we were like, well, and we like your management skills, and and we think her distribution contacts were great too at the time, and still are, actually getting way better. She's so awesome.
Yeah, she
We
works
couldn't
really
say no
hard.
to her. It's a family-based label, so we were really happy. I was really happy about it.
It's kind of a weird time in music too, because there's such the push to do it yourselves, and the whole thought of being signed to a label is just so foreign to some bands that are starting out. So are you happy with that decision? That was always from the get-go. You wanted to get on with the management of the label and let them kind of help champion you guys?
I think most definitely we were thinking about it for a while, and it had been our plan to find a really good independent label that understands all of those I guess the struggles and the questions that come with being kind of a DIY kind of thing. So I think we just got really lucky finding the right people and the right contacts, and they had a really good approach to it, and I think it works. It does work for now. So hopefully it does for
so fast.
yeah.
So we didn't really know if we were doing the right thing by getting a label, but we were just playing a lot of shows and getting good amount of tension in Saskatoon, and you know, we were finding it hard to just take everything on ourselves because there was grants to write, because we were touring, you know, we were being accepted to play like international conferences, and like, you know, and if not accepting, we were applying because we were confident about them. So we thought that getting signed and having representatives out of province was a very good choice, and it has, and it's paid off a lot. We're playing Hillside Festival this year, and that's something like we never imagined playing a year ago, and that's we've been hearing good things about it, so we're incredibly excited to go to Hillside, and it's because of that label that we got that festival. So.
Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McQuaid, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquaid.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon), 664-6640.
I got a hold on you, but I am gonna let go soon. I know that we are old. I just want your bones, bones. I know you come into my home. I know you want all my bones. I have a fear of this. I just want your bones, bones. I know you come into my home. I know you want all my bones. We'll take you out on the town. We'll take you out on the town.
This takes us into Green Eyes, 55 seconds. Again, just, you guys are the Young Benjamins, I'll do whatever I want on my album. I'm gonna put a 55-second song, whatever. We're gonna start with a song with the lead singer not singing, and then, yeah, just go from there. So now a 55-second song. That
Yes,
just,
sir.
55 seconds, we're done. It doesn't need to be any more.
We don't need to have it any longer than that. It's short and sweet.
Yeah, I think definitely short and sweet, and it leaves people wanting more. And I think that on iTunes that was one of the songs
most
that
sales.
people were buying the most.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's so short. I don't know. They just
think
looked
they'd-
at the time.
You think they'd want to buy the longer songs and get their money's worth, but no.
Yeah, I don't know.
That song was Jasper, pretty much, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
it's-
came before Jasper.
has an intro to Jasper for a live show, but actually that's one of my favorite songs. I don't know why. I think there's just something about the lyrics that really grabs me, and I think we had a really nice recording process with that song, and it was just
With an album so diverse, are you ever surprised by the feedback you get from the fans?
definitely we get all sorts of feedback.
Ones that say that Colonial Part 1 should just be the only song on the album because it's so awesome, to people liking Green Eyes, to, I don't know, it's just different types of feedback.
I think that's a good thing about the album. There's so much variety that almost anyone, young or old, can relate to just one track or even a couple of them.
How important is giving that live show now at this stage for the band? There were people talking in the audience. I was talking to director Jay Neufeld, who said that, your live show now is starting to get a buzz. First it was the music. Now, you have to see like a regular show where they just go from song to song to song. So is that what you're focusing on now, is having that amazing live show the fans are going to remember?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's important to be a band that can transfer well from like an album to a live show, because they're both equally important. And I think having a really good live show definitely sticks with people and makes them want to come to your next one.
I'm guessing you were in Alberta when you wrote Jasper, Alberta. I'm guessing that's what it's about. It's probably not about like BC. So
Nope, it's about Jasper, Alberta, yeah.
And what went on in Jasper, Alberta that, again, got that song out there?
It wasn't what physically was going on. It was going on in my head. It was just another break, just the same breakup, really.
Yeah.
I write a lot about what's going on at the time. Always, I don't look back to things and write about them. It's usually just what's going on. I accidentally wrote Jasper. I don't even know when I wrote it. I think it was it must have been a couple months after I came back from the trip. It just came out of nowhere.
Talk about the broad appeal of the band. I was playing that song for my father, who's in his 60s, and he's like, "Yeah, this is pretty good." And then the western started, and he was like, this is amazing. Who are these guys? I was like, "That's Brynn's band. That's Brynn's new band." So yeah, you're a hit with the elderly population as well.
We find that actually. We have, I think, elderly and little kids. Because remember the Regina Folk Fest? There was a kid.
And then there's me.
His
Somewhere
name,
in between.
I think his name's Adam. I really hope I get that right. But he was a huge fan of us, and he came to see us 3 or 4 times after we played Regina Folk Fest. Oh no, it was Bizarre, and he came to Regina Folk Fest to see us. And he comes on the stage, and in front of the stage, he's like, "Hi, do you remember me?" And we were like, "Yeah." Yeah, it was really cool. That's something. Actually, that made me really happy for a while. Yeah, that made me really happy because he was like, "I'm learning guitar," and he was kind of inspired by it, and we were just super incredibly happy. We were just like, "Oh, it's so cool." So
That is cool, because kids and the elderly are known for their honesty. They're not going to tell you they like something when they don't. Jasper, Alberta, definitely a hit.
And I have something that you owe. No, I won't go. I'll just sit here by your side and leave these so withered skies. You are mine, but I must hide. Is that all news now? Ooh, it's the top of the mountain. Oh, hold you in my arms. Ooh, it's the top of the mountain. Oh, hold you in my arms. But green eyes, can't you see? It is your heart that I need. It is us I try to plead. Is that all news now? 'Cause oh my darling, if your heart isn't found, I could be your lover, I could be your town. Oh, someday soon you'll come home to me. Get under the sheets with me, get under the sheets. There'll be an aching in my heart the day that we part. How do you like to leave? And how do you like to start? Oh, oh.
Brynn Krysa. Here we are, Strip Down's 199th episode. You've been here since day one, since February 2008. We have featured the other band, Pirate Fridays, 3 times over the years. And then finally, Young Benjamins for episode 199. How is this one different than the last 3 times you've been on with Pirate Fridays?
This one seems like it's been a lot more work. Yeah, I don't know. Especially this one, I feel like, no offense to Pat Fridays, but this one it might get more notice. I think we'll definitely be posting it, sharing it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a different vibe with the band too. A lot more
Focus?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, more focused, and it's also kind of like, well, it is like our job. It's another job for us, so we want to be professional about it and look good while doing it. And
Yeah, I'm in no way bashing Pirate Fridays because I'm a huge fan, but that seems more of like a fun atmosphere of like friends getting together and playing music. And this seems like it's like steps. It's like there's a purpose. Like Young Benjamins is getting to the next level constantly, where Pirate Fridays is like a feel-good jam. So did I get it?
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah.
And just yourself, what's it like being in a band with this focus compared to, you know, the former projects you've been in?
It's definitely a new experience, but also a very good experience because, like, I've been playing music for so long, and I'm finally in a band that everyone is committed and has the same goals. And yeah, I've never been in a band before with so many good intentions and anything that's happened this quickly.
Let's bridge into Young Argument. Easily my favorite song on the disc, and I enjoy the disc from top to bottom, but that song blew me away. I've seriously probably put a scratch in the disc for how many times I've hit repeat. I just find it completely inspiring. That's the song you kind of debuted it to Jay Neufeld last year, our director. That's a story he enjoys telling too, where he just kind of sat down and we're like, what do you think of this? Yeah. And he said he liked it, and thank goodness for that because it went forward. And yeah, again, it's my favorite song on the disc. So that came around about a year ago.
Young Argument? Yeah, about this around July 22nd, whenever Nest was. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened at Nest because it's not like any other song on there. It's really like bleak, but it's got a brilliant build.
We were all going through something. I think at this point, we were just not feeling ourselves at Nest Creek. The festival itself was probably one of the best times we've had. We've all admitted that, but I think at that point we were just not ourselves. There was something going on in our lives that needed to improve, or just that was just highlighted. So I kind of felt that, and we all expressed it to each other. We talk about it, everything together. So, and yeah, every kind of verse is for each member of the band, really.
I won't let you go, let you leave this town alone, 'cause I've been here standing on the corner watching you drive home from the coldness of my house, the darkest part of town. I know seasons come and seasons go, and I won't let you see the boy that I've become, from the coldness of your feet to the comfort of my arms. It's you that I need, but it's us I do not want. Oh, I know seasons come and seasons go, but it's you that I own. It's not the ones we are content with. I have nothing left to prove what I had said. Why do people that we love become people that we dread? It's you that I need, but it's us I do not want. Oh, I know seasons come and seasons go.
Mr. Sicily Pizza and Pasta is proud to sponsor community programming on Shaw TV. Mr. Sicily, located at the corner of 51st and Miller in the north end of Saskatoon. 975-0345.
The following sponsors are proud to support local community programming on Shaw. Long and McWade, 721 43rd Street East, Saskatoon, 244-0509, or online at long-mcquade.com. Ultimo Euromoto. (204 3rd Avenue South in downtown Saskatoon), 664-6640.
Thank you.
When you're a teenager, you're a musician. That's the romantic idea, right? Is you're going to be in this band and it's going to be awesome and you're going to get noticed and you're going to build and people are going to love it and you're going to tour and you're going to play live shows. Is there still that romance now that it's happening for you at such a young age? Is it playing out like you guys thought it would, or is it just like blowing your minds of how much more difficult or how much more in depth it would be past just like, hey, I'm playing guitar, someone's paying me money?
It's all of the above.
That's
everything in one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more it's a reality check. You know, you're doing it not only because you love it, but because you need to do it, because you can't stop playing music. And I mean, unless you're doing some other career choice, but if you're playing music, you can't stop. You have to just keep going and keep going. And that's part of the, building the career, any kind of career. If you're going to school, you can't just stop doing your homework or something, because it brings you back. So I think that it's definitely a lot more of a day-to-day, it's a process, it's a job, it's a career choice, and we are building a business out of it as well. So that's, got to keep our head on top of the water. And
are you ever thankful of where you are? All the bands I've talked to that, keep moving and progressing, they're never satisfied. That's like their biggest disappointment, is there's never a point in their career yet where they can just sit back and go, yeah, I'm enjoying this level of success. It's always like, you get here, what's next? Is that a feeling in Young Benjamins as well? Like, where do you guys want to be in a year from now, 5 years from now? What's the long-term goal for Young Benjamins? Putting you on the spot here, this is a tough question. I feel like we're coming to the end of the episode, so let's jump right in here.
Yeah, that all depends on how well we do this summer, and we do everything step by step. So where I want to be and where these guys want to be are probably, hopefully the same, but most likely a little different. I just want to continue. I want to tour a lot. I want this band to be playing across Canada and Europe, and I want to, just be as happy as I am today.
I think it's definitely important to take in how lucky we are and savor these moments, tour and everything, but also it's always good to be looking ahead and having goals for yourself. Otherwise, I think that's how you can plateau and not really progress.
Zero.
I want at least another couple of albums for the next few years. I think we're already planning on releasing another EP in the next year or so.
Definitely, yeah. We got.
And another full length in a couple of years, and just kind of keeping the music rolling, because that's what makes our band fun, the music and being able to perform it. So
It's still fun?
Oh yeah, totally.
Definitely.
Every show, even though we've been playing these songs for the last year and a half, they're still awesome to play live, which is kind of surprising for most bands. Sometimes you'll have bands that'll say I can't stand that song anymore, but I think all of the songs I'm always looking forward to all of them, and it's not like there's that particular song that we're never playing that one again. It always comes back in, and I think because we have a pretty good repertoire right now, we're able to pick and choose which ones we're doing for specific shows. But I think that in the next few years we're going to be seeing a lot more new songs and a lot more of a full set as well.
Sounds like this is such an important summer for the Young Benjamins. You've guys got the talent, you've got the disc, you've got the drive, you've got the backing. It's like, this is going to be the next 2 months that makes the Young Benjamins. So after summer, after you play all these shows, you look at your fans, what do you hope they know about Young Benjamins? What do you hope they take away from all these shows you're going to do all summer? When people in September are talking about Young Benjamins, they're going to say, man, that band.
I don't know.
As a great bass player?
I hope so. No, I don't know. I think we just want to connect with people and let them know that we're serious about this and we enjoy what we're doing. Hopefully we can keep doing it for a while.
I hope that they know that we appreciate them so much too, because I think the music community, the fact that they are participating at shows and that they're able to to get into the live performance with us, that's what makes our performance as well. And I don't know, I appreciate everyone that comes to our shows. It's so amazing how you look into the crowd and you see people that have been there at pretty much all of the shows, and it kind of boggles my mind that people enjoy, I don't know, being part of it as well, as much as we enjoy giving it to them. So yeah.
Seeing new faces in the crowd too has been happening a lot lately, which is also refreshing in a way.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I was going to say. the biggest drive for being a musician is how well your local your town responds to you guys, and I think we wouldn't be wherever we are right now, which is happily touring with an album, if it wasn't for the city we lived in. Saskatoon, every weekend and every time there's a show, there's people out. Like, this is just not for us, for Young Benjamins, but like people loving music in Saskatoon, and it's only growing. So I think, you know, big thanks to Saskatoon.
Son, don't you look down when she's gone. Son, don't you look down when she's gone. When she's gone. Hold her hand, son. Hold her till she's gone. Hold her hand till she's gone. It's over there in the world where your heart sets with you. There in the wild, there in the wild, there in the
About how, like, it wasn't your decision to put these songs in this order.
There's a dog pooping behind you. Sorry, it's like right by your head.
What do you do that? Grabbing some leaves. Oh no, never mind.
His interviewing style is not the best. His personal personal appearance is not the best.